Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. How are you doing?
All right. How's my audio?
It's good. You did something
I
different.
put I put in my headphones finally.
Yes, we all dance to the intro. That's hey, come on, come on. Good morning. All right. How's it going? How was your week?
Busy. How about yours?
Baby, when we get to this meeting after the meeting, I got tea to spill. Extra hot piping tea to spill. But no, it was busy. It was a lot. The weather here has been crazy. It snowed in the well, when I got home, let me tell you about that too. When I got home last week, I was stuck in Atlanta for a few way more hours than I anticipated. I was only supposed to have a 50-minute layover. I ended up having a 3-hour layover. But
Wow.
I was so close to making that I was like, keep playing. I'm about to go see my baby. But but we did get out. But it was raining. It was torrential rain when I got home. And so, it was dark. It was almost midnight when I got home. And so I'm driving. It's dark in Kentucky because our airport is actually in Kentucky. That's a whole other conversation. But it's dark. I'm driving. I make it. I'm all excited. I'm happy. I go to bed. I wake up. Snow is everywhere. I said, where did all of this come from? Because it was only like 40 degrees when I was coming home. So I'm like, oh my God. But I guess all the rain, it got cold, it dropped, snow was everywhere. So our week has been um, predicated on what the temperature will look like the next morning. Needless to say, stuff was canceled, um, all the things. It was crazy. So that has caused my week to go up and down, up and down. Things that I was supposed to do, couldn't do, canceled, didn't. Okay, well, now I got some time to do this, put this in, change it around. It was crazy. So that was my week.
All
But
right.
Lord, but God, we got through it,
There
right?
you go.
We got through it.
There you go.
All right, all right. All right, well, let's get this party started. Welcome everybody to the Saturday morning tea. Here we brew up the hottest topics in healthcare. We discuss health information, news, education, certification tips, the weather, travel, foolishness, dancing to the intro, hey, hey, and entrepreneurship, really the revenue cycle at large. And as you come in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up or like button. I'm Clarice Warner. I'm the girl with the pearls, the founder and senior education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network LLC, where coding education is key. And PRN is a healthcare compliance consultancy located in Cincinnati, Ohio, that specializes in revenue cycle and regulatory compliance in education. Now, let me ask you, do you know what it takes to be a certified marketable medical coder? Do you? Well, before I introduce my co host, let me share with you information on a free, yes, free 99 email course on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start? And scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder. Hey, if you are interested in getting more information about the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder, check out the video description for the link. So, joining me today is my partner in success, my co host, Mr. Jesse, the registered trademark. Put some respect on his name, the coding nurse. Sir, introduce yourself and tell the folks all about you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse. I live in Philadelphia. I have been in healthcare. I was an LPN for a long time. In 2014, I transitioned away from the bedside into HIM, specifically risk adjustment auditing. And during the pandemic in 2020, I created a company, the Coding Nurse LLC, where I help nurses and other people in healthcare with a clinical background transition into the wonderful world of HIM.
And how has that been working for you?
It's coming along.
Cool. Let me get myself back. Okay. I want to. You looking all fancy? Where we going? What we doing?
Nowhere.
I said, well, wait a minute. Hold on. We pop that collar. Pop,
Yeah,
pop,
there you
pop.
go.
I said, well, look at here. All right, sir. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's see. Good morning, Crafty Coder, our on the street correspondent. Yes. And good morning, Miss Carmen. I got caught up with the whole dancing to the intro, but good morning. Because I dance every week. All right. So before we jump in, let me remind you that you can join in and add to the conversation. Don't be shy. Your opinion matters and is welcomed here, whether you for or against. Doesn't matter. Just join us. Talk to us. And you can use the chat. So don't be shy. If you have questions, please type a Q first so we know it is a question for us and we don't miss it. I know how y'all like to talk amongst yourselves and ask questions amongst yourselves, but if it's directed for us, let us know so we don't miss it. Good morning, Miss Vicky. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Vicky.
Yes, ready for tea. And ma'am, we have it. When I tell you we got it, we got it. All right. So for those who are joining us or watching the replay, today we are talking job market ghosting. What medical coders need to know. Ooh, and Mr. Jesse got an earful for y'all today. So buckle up. But first, let's get into our ready on the spot. Let's get into our church announcement. Oh, hey. I want to learn how to play the organ. I'll be pecking like who was that pecking? Oh, Charlie Brown. With the wonderful world of AI, I'd be like, AI, play this for me. Play this tool, please. Use it as a tool. All right. Okay. So, baby, I don't know about you, but I personally missed it. But did anybody join the AHIMA Town Hall meeting that was
I
held
missed it too.
on February 20th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time? I didn't even see any messages or any information about this. So imagine my shock, like, well, wait a minute, I've been on all my advocacy stuff and my delegate stuff, but I said, well, how did I miss the town hall meeting? But baby, the people are talking. So again, I'm spilling secondhand tea, but it's still tea nonetheless. How about that?
There you go.
So AHIMA had a town hall meeting, and they do this regularly, or have been doing this regularly for the past couple of years. I don't know if it's monthly, if they bumped it up to monthly. It seems to be monthly here lately. It was, I think, quarterly at one point. But this is an opportunity for AHIMA to give updates to its members about what's happening at AHIMA. And I was I know y'all be in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I be on Reddit. And I was on my Reddit little thread. And they were talking all about the AHIMA Town Hall. So thank you to Extreme Hyena who posted all the tea. And so she said, now this came up in our in our delegates meeting. So there's some kind of rumor or something about AHIMA being shut down due to financial issues. And somebody mentioned something about that at our meeting, and the CEO was quick to pop on and say, "Where'd that come from? No, there could be nothing further from the truth. AHIMA is not shutting down." And she's like Reddit and Discord. AHIMA is not shutting down due to any type of financial challenges. So um, there were, I guess, a lot of questions, and they gave some additional information. Oh, also, let me just let you know, this is the town halls are recorded. So if you are a member and you go out to access, I believe you can. I don't know when they posted it, and I don't think it's posted yet. But when they post it, you can go out there and actually listen to the recordings. Um, she said there was a lot of questions being answered on the rumors of shutdown and financial issues, although some deflection is definitely being done. I don't even know she was doing this like right there on the spot. She was on the street correspondent that day. um, but there have been new updates on or CUs and memberships as well. So one of the things that was mentioned as far as updates on CUs, they have uh, oh yeah, she was doing it while she was actually putting this in while she was on the meeting. She said pretty much people are mad for them spending money where they shouldn't. So I guess some financial transparency occurred, and they discussed, where they had been spending some of the funds that AHIMA receives from its members, and folks were not feeling the best about how they were spending their money. The other thing is there is now a pause, once again, on the 40% CEU requirements. They talked about their volunteer opportunities. They talked about how offshore has more opportunities than onshore. Imagine that. Um, the 2025 domains are still pending. I think they were talking about having something related to that, or at least some version of that in March. So they still got a little time for that. She said they are even considering, this was shocking to me, they're even considering getting rid of the CCA. There were, I guess, some discussion around there since it's not as acceptable compared to CCS. So I will definitely be going back and listening to the replay related to that, because that would be quite interesting, especially for your newer students coming into AHIMA. That's a saving grace, because it's a lot with CCS and CCSP. CCA was at least a way to put your toe in the water. Then she says a whole lot more. I'm trying to type everything as they try to cover their ass in this Q&A. Let's see. There's a lot of talk, and there's a lot of talk. There were rumors flying around when the previous president stepped down. Oh, so they thought this was all about the financials with him, that there was financial issues and money mismanagement. They did say that they did misuse their budget and have created a new one with a chart and everything. So that's where people were up in arms about how they need to allow CCS and RHIT holders to sit for the RHIA, especially if they are working in HIM department. Experience, certification, and skill set should be the focus. Master and bachelor's degrees are expensive online and in person. These are comments from people, and they were like, yeah, can you post the video link when it come out? And everybody was thanking her for this other person was like me. I wasn't even aware of this meeting. I'm sure I've been notified, but I just didn't pay attention. I don't remember seeing a notification at all. What's going on with the recertification issue? I have been trying to pay and recertify for almost 3 months. She says they claim the system they used or third party was not properly handled for the recertification. Oh my God, if it's the same company that they discussed, that holds so if this is the same company, they got a mess on their hands. They're gonna have to scrap and redo all of that. So they hired or contracted with a company to help them manage the members and the CEUs to help discern and decide, what CEUs were from AHIMA or the ones that they were allowing for the 40%. And so I guess the company was writing the code to do that. Whoever signed this contract, I don't even know if legal was even involved in this contract because the contract was foolish. The contractor got over 100%. They made the code proprietary and didn't give the code to AHIMA. So they couldn't handle, the contractor basically wrote the code, but couldn't handle the job because of the amount, the volume of members and correspondence and all of the things. And so when they couldn't handle it, they was trying to walk back information or things that were in the contract. So AHIMA was like, okay, fine, we'll end the contract from here, give us our information. Well, somewhere in the fine print, it told them that the code was proprietary and it belonged to the contractor. And they didn't have to give that code, or was not expected and would not give that code to AHIMA. So all that time, all that money, all that resources wasted. So now they have to walk that back. And I don't know if they're in the process of finding somebody, still finding somebody or whatever to start that whole process over. So they couldn't even track it, trend it. They couldn't do anything if they wanted to with that 40% right now. So yeah. So that was my tea.
Now that's tea right there.
TT. When I tell you TT. All right, Mr. Jesse, did you have any tea that you want to, or any church announcements? I'm sorry, that was my church announcement.
I do have a church announcement. I have a new ICD 10 CM class beginning on Thursday, March 20th.
Okay.
At 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So to find more information, go to thecodingnurse.com.
Look at you. Look at you. I love it. I love it. All right. Okay, well, let the tea spilling begin. Let me get rid of the church announcement banner. So, Mr. Jesse, you want to?
Yes, I'll share my screen.
Okay. She said, well, I'm spilling hot tea already. Hit present.
I hit present. It says your browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address. I don't see it. Oh.
Did you have something special, or were you going to share the article?
The articles. Oh,
Which one?
The LinkedIn. We can start with that one.
Did you send me a wait a minute? Look, I don't have a LinkedIn.
I think you sent it to me.
My bad. Okay.
All right. Well, you want to go to another
one?
Oh,
I got it. Hold on.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Do do do. Put that. Window. Okay.
All right. So this is a LinkedIn article from this week. Wasn't it this week? Because this is one day ago. So I think it was this
Mm-hmm.
week.
As soon as I got it, I sent it to
Yeah.
you.
And it just echoes what a lot of people have already known. The job market has been crazy for about a good 2 years, and even in medical coding, it's no it. Healthcare used to be a safe haven where a lot of shenanigans that went on in other industries didn't happen in healthcare, but it seems to have trickled into the HIM industry. So it just basically says the confidence among American job seekers is dropping again. So the article just highlights says job confidence usually spikes at the start of January thanks to New Year's optimism, but last month it was plus 20 among active job seekers, already down 11 points year over year from plus 31. These findings dovetail concerns that it's taking job hunters longer to secure their next role. The survey also found that over half of job seekers have been hunting for 6 months or more, which I think is really just a tragedy because why would it take, especially if you have companies that are advertising or you have recruiters that are reaching out to you for roles? Like, why does it
Mm-hmm.
take that long? And if anybody has interviewed recently, like the interview process is grueling. It's just ridiculous. What they take you through, how long you wait between interviews, how long you wait for a response if you get a response. So all of that is causing the confidence in American job seekers to drop. Your thoughts, Clarice?
I'm with you. It makes to me it makes no sense, especially like I'm getting um in inboxes and in just general email uh from folks, and I'm getting text messages. I don't even know how they got my phone number, but text messages like, "Oh, I'm and so from XYZ company, and we're looking for." Some of them are contracted, I guess, because they're temp to perm. But then there are certain, we're looking for a VP of this. We're looking for a VP of that. We're looking for a director of this. Are you? I'm I'm not interested. But or do you know somebody who may be interested in da 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 da? I'm like, so are these jobs posted anywhere, or folks are just like, you know what, it's too much going on. Let me just go directly to these recruiters and have them do the work. I mean, I don't know, and it's confusing as a if you are a job seeker to know like, should I be using Indeed? Should I be using um, even LinkedIn? Should I be using LinkedIn to assist me in my job search? I always say, and this has always been the tried and true method, it's all about your network and who you know, and having conversations and reaching out. I was just on LinkedIn this morning. Um, I was looking for the Helix now. And I saw where um, a previous colleague of mine works. She does research for clients, and wherever she's currently working, due to structural changes or whatever, she's losing her position. And she kind of summarized that, and then she's like, "So as a result, I am now looking for this type of opportunity. I come in at this level. This is what I mean." She is basically putting her resume of her skill set, what she has accomplished, what she's done at this particular organization and others on a post. And it was like, and if for her. for her people to see. And if you or someone you know are hiring for this type of position, or you see some skill sets that I have that may be of interest, please connect us. And I was like, wow, is that how we get down in these streets? I mean, I guess so. But again, for me, it's always been networking or talking to somebody, or people and I guess she used the power of the socials media to do the same thing, because you don't necessarily see people on the street anymore like you did, popping up here and there or whatever. But hey, why not? I have an audience. I have people I'm connected to. Let me reach out to my connections and see what's out there. I thought that was very clever for her to do.
Then I had even, excuse me, I had seen an article, I want to say last year. You know how, like on LinkedIn, if you're looking for a job, you can have that open to work banner?
Yes.
Well, I saw an article on LinkedIn last year saying that you shouldn't put open to work.
If you got a job or just
No,
period.
even if you're looking for a job, you shouldn't use it because then you come across as needy. Okay, well, you are
You
needy.
are
Get a
needy. Yeah.
job.
These bills need to be paid. So you are needy. My lifestyle needs to keep going. I like to eat. We need food. You are needy. But again, how would people know? I mean, so think about it both ways. I'm always a put the shoe on the other foot type person. So if you are a person looking for a job, or no, if you're a person who has a job, and you may see some people that may be interested, you don't necessarily want to bother them if they're happy in their position. You might be like, oh, they meet everything I want. You know, how do I approach you? Um, to see maybe if you're looking that open to opportunity or open to a job search or whatever the banner said. That was a okay. You can holler at me. Let's see. We could talk. Versus an employer not knowing.
Right. It's just there are too many rules, and people just need to just be more professional and honest and upfront in
Mhm.
all aspects of the job search, because people don't have confidence for a reason. If people were confident that they're applying for jobs and their resume is being seen, or they're getting a proper follow up, people will be more confident about looking for a job. So, and that leads us into the next article, which is the job market screwed? What you need to know in 2025.
Mm. Let me find that one. Get rid of this. Doo, doo, doo. Mhm.
All right, so can you scroll down to the three key statistics on the job market in 2024? I think that's the first section.
Here.
Yes.
Okay.
So says number one, like these stats really just slay me, because this is the national unemployment rate was down to 4.2% in Q3 2024. And the number two is, and as unemployment rates were down, jobs were being created. And then number three, I'll come back and address them all. Job growth was concentrated in sectors like healthcare, renewable energy, and technology. So number one, the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate is never, ever, ever accurate, because there are people, if you're looking for a job beyond 6 months, you're no longer included in the statistics as jobless. So we don't know how many people are actually jobless in the country, or how many people are actually looking for work.
Mm-hmm.
Then number two, it says, as unemployment rates were down, jobs were being created. But when it says jobs are being created, we're not talking about, they're talking about any job, be it part time, full time, in any sector. So, there might be a lot of jobs created, but they might only be paying 11.75 an hour. That's not something that most people in HIM would consider. Then it says job growth was concentrated in sectors like healthcare, renewable energy, and technology. So, the whole healthcare tech thing kind of goes hand in hand. Their healthcare is always growing because the population in this country is getting older, so more people are accessing healthcare. Plus, we live in a huge country, and we have a lot of sick people in the country who engage in healthcare. You don't even have to be sick to engage in healthcare, just routine maintenance and health screening. So there seems to always be jobs in healthcare, which brings us to why, and then technology, which goes back to why are HIM people looking and having to go through so many hoops to find employment, and nobody seems to really want to address that. So before I move on, you want to jump in?
No, I was. Are you going to talk about the trends?
Yes,
Okay,
but
I'll wait till you
okay,
get in there. Okay.
all right. So the three job trends. First is AI and automation. A lot of people, we hear about AI, and uh, Clarice's work boyfriend Claude.
I love him dearly. And I say good morning. I'll say good morning, Claude. Good morning, please. I'll be like, yes. Let's get this day started.
I, I think about you a lot because one of my favorite YouTubers, when he's beefing with this guy, the guy's name is Claude. He said, I'm not talking to you, Claude."
Oh, you're gonna have to send me that because I mean that's like that sounds like Charles in the lunch
Yeah.
thing. Okay, I'm sorry.
so, so AI and automation, we have in HIM, we've been hearing about AI, and AI has been in HIM for a while. We
Hmm.
maybe some people just didn't know what it was,
Hmm.
but I think that in healthcare in particular, I'll say HIM, not healthcare, but HIM in particular, I think that a lot of people are are too concerned about AI, especially in coding, because anybody who has seen AI in coding can tell that it's not accurate or nor consistent. So those two things, at least for the short term, will always create opportunities because whether AI finds something or not, you still need those human eyes to go in and validate what they found. It's not at the point where it can replace anybody at this level. It's at its current level. It can only bring things to your attention that would require further investigation. And if it's like that, I don't have a problem with that because you may miss something or it may miss something, but just having the more eyes that's on something, the better. I, Especially when it comes to medical record abstraction.
Hmm.
So, do you want to jump in on the AI and automation?
No, I totally agree with what you're saying, and you know, and we've talked about this several times. You have to look at AI as a tool to assist you in doing what you need to do. Like me and Claude get together. I give Claude some tasks. Look, Claude, I need you to consider how I need to do da 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 da, or this is what my day looks like. What's the best time of day that I should do? You know me. What's the best time of day that I need to create that? So Claude is like my virtual AI assistant, if you will. um, but even for the health information professional, when you're say you have some data and you're thinking you need to create a report based on that data, well, use AI to help you generate the information, um, and even make it pretty, the output of that. So those are the types of things that AI can help you as you when you're using it as a tool. Unfortunately, and I told y'all when I went to AHIMA 24, almost every vendor there was pushing AI tools to assist organizations in their coding backlogs, getting revenue out the door faster. Um, all of these things that your C-suite would be like, well, wait a minute, hold up, let me at least listen to what it is that they have to say. But nobody was actually addressing on the back end. What about all of the denials that you're gonna get from from whatever it is that you're using that may not necessarily be correct? What about also inserting humans to validate? Because nobody's talking about that point. Yes, you want to have your AI on the front end and pushing everything out, and oh, they can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they can do all of the things, and productivity is great, and all of the things. But is it accurate? And that's where the conversation is really, 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 you hear crickets. Nobody really wants to talk about the accuracy. And so you're going to, so to me, you're spending money on this tool that you think is going to replace people in some instances, or replace some of the skills or some of the processes that the humans do. And yes, I do see that. I can see some of the data entry elements maybe of replacing the person, but you still need the people. So you're paying for the tool and you're still paying for the people. So and then still paying for more people on the back end who have to work the denials, or paying for the other people who have to have additional eyes to validate. So I mean, is it really a cost saver, or is there a great return on the investment right now? I don't know. I don't think so.
Me either. I agree. So now scrolling to the second trend, which is hybrid and remote work. So, and it says, remote work was all the rage post pandemic for good cause. And we the data is clear that during the pandemic, when everybody was home, there was no decrease in productivity. Companies still made record profits.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden, now that the pandemic is over, and now that people have gotten used to working in their night clothes, now all of a sudden you have to come back to work, or they have hybrid positions. And I just think that the good thing about our industry is our industry was working remote way before the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not going to change because because our field is so highly specialized that we need talent wherever we can find it. So that person may be in Alaska. If you could ship a computer to Alaska and they have a internet access, fine.
Mm-hmm.
So hybrid and remote work doesn't really affect us. Although I know me personally, I have had people contact me about hybrid roles, and I'm like, definitely not. And if you want me to consider leaving my house even 2 days a week, that coin has to be right, because then I'm going to need a wardrobe, I'm going to need lunch, I'm going to need transportation, dry cleaning.
All of the things,
There
because
you go.
I'm coming sharp. I'm coming sharp.
Even if I got to come for a meeting, you want me to come in? Pay me.
Absolutely. Some of it I think is the real estate market on commercial properties. I think that's where they're pushing the people to push these organizations to get the people back in, but that's a whole other topic.
Ho.
um, One of the first things that I noticed with hybrid and remote work was the lack of management skills in that arena. And because you can't necessarily manage people that you see and walk past and touch every day the same way you manage people remotely. Um, but I did probably within the last year or so, start seeing conversations and workshops and articles and all of the things to help these managers, because they were clueless on how to manage um, and or supervise, if you will, even down to the supervisory level, people who are remote. Because especially those folks who are micromanagers who just, that's a whole other conversation as well. you it's impossible to try to do this whole micromanagement in a virtual area with multiple people. um and so you have to find another way. At the end of the day, everybody has a set task or a set job that needs to be accomplished, and that's how you measure that. Like, if I get what I supposed to have done within the 8 hours or however many hours it is that I'm working for you done, we're done. Forget the, what is it they had, the jiggling of the mouse to make sure people was on. Foolishness. Foolishness. It should be project based type of work that we're doing at this point, particularly on the virtual. And and to your point, we've been here already for decades prior to this, so this shouldn't have been new. Yeah, there's some people that you have to now train how to do it, so it's new for some but not new for most. And having the conversations on how to manage them, to me, was one of the things that was lacking. And there were probably some of the loudest voices, and, well, bring them back in, bring them back in. And then I also understand that there are people who need people. Not all of us are introverted. I am, but not all of us are introverted, and so there are people who just gotta have people. There has to, I mean, there are virtual meetings. We have virtual meetings. There are virtual check-ins. There are ways to even assist those who need to have people. You just got to see the people on the screen. I mean, you still get the people. You just don't get to touch them.
That's right.
So I think there are ways to fulfill all of that.
Can we talk about KK's comment, because it's about number one,
I am.
AI and automation. Thank you.
So KK says, my company recently started using an AI tool. It's beneficial in pulling out some things quicker, but the leveling is not always correct. Of course it's not.
Exactly. And that's, really where AI is, especially in our industry. And for us, it's a good thing because we get to stay employed. More people get to stay employed. So, because you're going to need a second set of eyes to take a look.
I'm trying to read Crystal's question. It says, how can you start to work in front desk with insurances as a medical biller and coding specialist? Well, first and foremost, medical billing is one lane and medical coding is another lane. Let's start there. They're not the same. They're not together. They're two separate careers with two
Correct.
separate skill sets.
Correct.
They work in tandem with each other. They rely on the separate skills that each come to the table with, but they're not the same.
And I would think the front desk would be more aligned or more closely related to billing, because as the front desk person, you will have to verify insurance, or you should be verifying insurance
Right, when
when
the
when
person
they
comes in.
when they check in. So
Correct.
that would get you into the door to to billing. And Crystal, if that's where your interest lies, I would strongly suggest you join the meeting after the meeting, or you connect with the crafty coder, because she is all things billing.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, so now number three, we have skills over degrees. Oh God. So It says companies are focusing on candidates who can show skills in important areas like coding and project management, even if they do not have a related degree. So this has been uh, going back and forth as long as the Hatfields and the McCoys. So, and what people have to realize and just really just be honest, um, we have to like face facts. Like if a job was requiring a degree, but they no longer require a degree, and it's based on quote unquote skills, you really have to be honest and realize that these people are going to try to pay you less money. They're not, they are like some people who have degrees make more money. It is just the facts and the rules of the game. Now, when you get into qualifications, okay, you have people who are certified who can't code. So it doesn't. I don't think the degree attainment is used for a reason. It's in place for a reason, and they have skills and skills requirements in place for a reason. And I think that the two are supposed to work hand in hand and in tandem to make a person a powerhouse of an employee. But if you have skills, that should not preclude you from having a certain place in the industry. And I don't think that you can it this back and forth really shouldn't be, especially in HIM. I don't understand because we all should be on the same page and we all should be moving along, a lot smoother than what it seems to be. So I just think that they can both be used, but I think that you have because you have these people, they have these coding boot camps, not medical coding, but computer coding,
Mhm.
and you have the people who after like 16 weeks they get a job. Okay, yes, you will get a job, but you're not going to get paid as much as that person who works there who has a bachelor's degree in computer science. You just have to be realistic, in my opinion. So I'm going to toss the mic to you, Clarice.
So, in our world, in our field, our skills are what are most important, especially if you're looking for a medical coding position. You have to be able to display and show that you have the skills for the type of coding that you are interested in. There are, while there is a foundation for coding across the board, there are different skill sets that are required for inpatient coding than there are for outpatient and professional coding. There are two separate skill sets that are required. The foundation is the same. How you arrive at certain things are pretty much the same. But then there are additional guidances, your guidelines, and so on and so forth, and other types of things that you need to be proficient in if you're dealing with um, inpatient coding versus some other things that you have to be proficient in if you're dealing with outpatient or professional. For example, inpatient coding, you also need to know ICD 10 PCS. You don't need to know that for outpatient or professional. Um, CPT and HCPCS is not a big deal over there in the inpatient world. It's everything in the outpatient world. So those are the skill sets, again, depending on which way you're coding, that you need to come with. Let's also take a look at risk adjustment coding. So there are certain levels of skills that are required to understanding risk adjustment coding, and so on and so forth. Now, and even other types of career paths in health information, trauma registry, tumor registry, all of those different things. They require the skills, and you have to show the skills. Now, the skills are what will get you in the door. The skills would get you maybe that entry mid level position as a coder. Your degree will get you the management position. Your degree would get you the higher level, maybe even going into compliance, maybe even going into higher level administration in the hospital, where you're taking your coding knowledge or coding skills and applying it to different um, components within an organization. So again, I totally agree. Your skills can get you in the door, and you have to show that you have the skills, certification or not. Now, certifications, I'm pro certification. However, to Mr. Jesse's point, there are some people who have certifications that couldn't code outside of a box, only because they were taught to pass a coding certification exam. They were not necessarily taught the skills of the coding that they were trying to do. And that's a big difference, and it's huge. And folks are usually outed as soon as they get that coding position because they are clueless. All they know are multiple choice questions and how to pass a multiple choice exam. Give them some questions and ask them how to do so and so and so. And sometimes they look like deers in headlights. So it's really, really, really important that you focus on understanding the skills that come with um, these positions. And the certification is supposed to show that you have specialized in a particular area. So I have a CCSP, I have my CPC. I've shown via certifications that I specialized in outpatient and physician coding. That's where my certifications lie. But I also have the skill and can show the skill that that come with that. So just make sure that and some of these organizations will give you those assessments to kind of weed out or see whatever. We've talked about some of the assessments. Some are good, some may not be as good, and sometimes they can assist you in showing your skills, and sometimes it's like, what in the world was that? So be mindful of that too. So even though you may have the skills, you may have the certification, some employers will still also require you to take their assessment. And then the best organizations will also require you to make sure you receive the training for how they do what they do, because everybody does things a little differently for depending on the types of organizations. And so they would also have some sort of additional training for you. It's not necessarily coding directed training, but it's training to acclimate you to that organization and its type of coding and its policies and so on and so forth. So um, to sum all of that up, your coding skills and your certifications are what can get you the coding positions. Your degrees are primarily geared for management or higher level and oftentimes people will bump their head like, okay, I've been coding and I've been doing this great job, and my productivity is great, my performance is great, I want to get to the next level. And oftentimes you're faced with, well, you got to get a degree, because it clearly will tell you you need a degree to get to this next level. So that's where education pops in. Some people will do it off the rip. Let me go ahead and get my degree, get my coding certificates, get all of the things. So when and if I come to the point where I do want to progress in my career, they're already ready.
Facts. So, bars. So now we're going to have tips for navigating 2025's job market. So the first tip is upskill and reskill. Invest in training or certificates for resilience. So it says you must upskill if your goal is to transition or advance your career in 2025. And I really do agree. Like if you are an outpatient coder, become a better outpatient coder.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an inpatient coder, become a better inpatient coder. And invest in some, advanced coding, whatever for whatever side of the fence you find yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and really drill down and show that you have mastered that that the skills required to do your job, because as what will always set you apart is performance.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
the more informed you are, the more educated you are about your job and your skill, the more marketable you will be.
Yes, absolutely. And then they have a lot of buzzwords, these micro credentials. So, say you have an interest in learning more about um, I'll use risk adjustment. Hey, I see a lot of this stuff popping up. What do I need to do to get more information on that? There you can there are several trainings or things that you can learn that will allow you to then get a micro credential in risk adjustment. So you have all of your certifications, but you're adding additional skills to your belt. Um, Not only coding skills, but folks in or hiring organizations or folks in organizations also talk about soft skills. So developing and learning the soft skills that are needed to be proficient in just working, we're talking healthcare, but working really anywhere, having the appropriate communication skills, being able to critically think. Again, the AI robot is based on the human brain. So you have to be able to critically think through whatever those tasks or projects or whatever the situation that is in front of you. And sometimes we focus so much on the skill for the position that we don't often consider or think about critical thinking skills. Like I have some students that almost took me out yesterday um, on a project that I signed for them. And it was like, oh my God, well, we can't find this or we can't find that. Do you think I'm supposed to tell you how to find this or that? This is your project. You have to critically think. First of all, you're not limited to one particular area. We live in a global world. You can find anybody anywhere, tap into them and have the conversation so that you can get your job done. And then I had to also remind them there's a rubric to this particular assignment. And the stuff that you stressing about is 3 points out of 48. I need you to prioritize the importance because you done spent 2 days worried about this piece of it when you still got a whole bunch of other stuff that you need to do. And at the end of the day, I'm grading you on all 48 items, not just that one piece. So I'm like, oh my God, critical thinking, decision making, those types of soft skills. We need to make sure that we have those. And 9 times out of 10, we have them. We use them in other places. We also just need to bring them over and use them in our workplace as well.
Then we're almost at the top of the hour, but the last point I want to talk about is network. Scroll back down a little. No, go up. I'm sorry.
Well,
Right here.
mhm.
So, network, build authentic connections online and offline. Networking is one of the most powerful tools for advancing your career and navigating the job market in 2025. That right there is a takeaway for this whole meeting, for this whole Saturday morning tea. Nowadays, it is vitally important to network. If you have a coding credential, become active in your AAPC chapter or your AHEMA chapter. If you can find groups on Facebook, find people on Instagram, find people on any social media platform that you choose that are in your industry that you can network with, that you can talk to, collaborate with. So if you do find yourself in need, you have a network of people that can assist you. Oh well, I know, well, I have a friend who, just had an opening at where she works or he works. So networking is going to be key moving forward, especially with all this change that's going on just in the world, period, and in the job market. It is going to be vitally important to network.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like what she says here. It's network to get work.
Yes.
Absolutely. I want to just piggyback one thing or mention one thing because we talked about it in our title about ghosting.
Yes.
And job ghosting, actually, the definition is suddenly ceasing all communications with candidates. So at some point, y'all in this process, y'all going, you hearing, and then all of a sudden, you don't hear anything. Um, and some of the common reasons that employers, and they need to be better about that. To me, it's just a matter of common courtesy. But some of the reasons um, that these employers are ghosting candidates is the volume of applications. Okay, AI can help you with that. Have your AI reach out and craft a simple email message that says, thank you for your application. After reviewing, da da da. Y'all know that standard letter. Have AI do that and generate that so that you can at least so the people can hear back from you. Um, Another thing that they mentioned: fear of discrimination accusations. Um, yeah, okay. Process inefficiencies and organizational changes or shifts in priorities. Um, and again, this impact of ghosting on job seekers is huge. Like there are psychological effects. You never people again, it's common courtesy just to say, hey, um, unfortunately your skill set didn't match up what our needs were or whatever, or just to let the folks know that they received it, because there are some people who are stressing out like, oh my god, did they get it? I don't even know if they got it, and then they may send it again, like, oh, and the worrying about um um a particular position, especially if it's a position that they really feel that they would excel in and really want, then they're stressing out about that. um I just wonder, like, if you've had any ghosting experiences, share it in the comments. Let us know. And how did you handle it if you had ghosters? So I hear new coders say they can't find a job, but they do not network or attend their local chapter meetings. I say your network is your net worth. Absolutely, absolutely. And I know in our we don't do it necessarily well. We do it somewhat in at our HEMA local um, chapters, but because they're the area is a little wider, it's a little more difficult. I know as being part of the educational realm, I get stuff all the time. We hiring for this. Do you know some students? Can you send this to your students? Can you send this to your group? That's a easy. Oh yeah, let me put this in announcements to my students. Here you go. Um, and when I was uh, part of our AAPC local chapter, um, at the top of the meeting, we usually have a session, especially when I was the development person. At the top of the session, I would request, "Hey, are there job announcements? Do people have positions, or people know?" And I would let people know that we would always have that segment so they can come prepared with providing information about the job and who they need to contact. So versus going just through your HR. No, we need a person that they could contact, because they may have some additional questions about that particular position, because it may not even be worth their time and effort if the position isn't right, if the coin's not right, if what the job entails is not right. So um, having those types of connections, to Mr. Jesse's point with the networking, is really key, and it helps navigate some of this foolishness that is now going on out here in the job search.
I totally agree.
All right. So again, hopefully, um, we got some. You got some practical advice, some information on with for health information professionals. Staying informed on any industry changes and making sure you invest in upskilling. Um, so that you can pivot no matter what happens, no matter what is going on, you will have the skills to be able to pivot for those. Building authentic professional networks. One thing about networking is, and again, that's a whole other subject or topic, but don't get into networking relationships just to get something out of a networking relationship. You need to get into that relationship by offering something. What is it that you can offer without even getting anything or looking for something in return? That's how you network. That's how folks can be like, oh, Dad, I remember so and so helped me do so and so. Well, let me help them do what da 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 da. Versus, well, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? What can you do for me? That's not an appropriate networking relationship. And there are plenty of articles and information on the appropriate way to network. Um, Again, know your value in uncertain markets. You should always know your value and always know your worth. So hopefully, again, those were some takeaways. Um, Looking at all of these crazy things that are happening with the job search, and hopefully something that we provided to you will will stick and help you in that endeavor. Like my friends say, if we've provided any type of value for you, put a yes in the comments. Put a yes in the comments.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Jesse, I didn't mean to steal your thunder. Did you have
No,
a
no, no.
wrap it up? All right, all right. Well, that was good. That was good. Okay, let me remove this. Let me stop that. And let me put that. All right. So, thirsty for fresh perspectives on the healthcare revenue cycle? Well, by joining our PRN tea sippers, you'll join a community of sharp minds who savor the complexities of the healthcare revenue cycle. Why sip alone when you can seep in knowledge together? Come, let's spill the tea on industry insights. What y'all saying? Here's what you can expect as a valued member of the PRNT Sippers. Exclusive healthcare insights. Gain access to in-depth articles, webinars, and resources covering the latest healthcare trends, compliance updates, and revenue cycle best practices. I'm also doing a series on strategy. So pop in and check out some of the work that we're doing on strategies or being strategic. Early access. Be the first to receive expert insights and guides, ensuring you stay ahead in the ever evolving healthcare industry. Personalized support. Enjoy direct access to our team of experts for guidance on medical coding, compliance issues, and revenue cycle management. We're here to answer your questions and support your professional growth. And my favorite, community connections. This is the network. Join a private community of healthcare professionals where you can network, share experiences, and collaborate on finding solutions to common challenges. So, by supporting us, you're not only advancing your healthcare knowledge and career, but also contributing to the success of the Professional Reimbursement Network LLC, a resource that empowers healthcare professionals like you to thrive in their roles, goals, and dreams. So thank you for considering becoming a member of the PRNT Sippers. For the cost of about 2 cups of tea a month, you can join the community. Check out the link in the description of the video, or you can go to bit.ly/the PRNT Sippers to get more information. And your support means the world to us, and we look forward to helping you excel in the world of health information and healthcare revenue cycle. So thank you again for joining the Saturday morning tea or checking out the replay. Was the tea spilled today? Put your teacups in the chat. Put your teacups in the chat. Let's see. She said, yes, very wise advice. Thank you, Clarice and Jesse. You are welcome. Yes, yes, yes. Love it, love it. All right. Teacups, teacups. All right. Now, before we sign off, I got a special request, as I always do, for all of you amazing viewers out there. If you found this episode helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share the knowledge with your colleagues, your frenemies, everybody by hitting that share button. And hey, why not subscribe to our channel while you're at it? That way, you'll never miss a drop of our health information compliance, revenue cycle, and medical coding tea. Got thoughts, questions, or experiences you want to share about our topic today? Well, we'll love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation brewing. And if you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up. It helps us, it helps more healthcare professionals find our content. So just those little thumbs up, comment, likes, those things helps us out. Also, check out the Coding Nurse channel on YouTube. There are gems over there as well. um, Remember, at the Saturday Morning Tea, we're all about building a community of savvy, informed healthcare professionals. So, like, share, subscribe, and comment, and let's grow this community together. Mr. Jesse, do you have any final closing thoughts for the day?
No, I've really enjoyed today's Saturday morning tea, and I always thank you for creating a platform because I know that we create value and we have conversations that a lot of people in our industry are not willing to have.
Well, I thank you today because you brought the topic and you wanted to. I put it out there for you to take over. You came in with your little sharp collar shirt. I said you was ready, and you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
I didn't have to even drink up all my water today. I didn't have to talk as much. It's all good. So thank you for bringing the topic, sharing your experiences. Um, again, this is a way of upskilling. So you aid in your presentation skills. Look, we got a platform for everybody. We got something for everybody. So, hey, if you would like to have the opportunity to come on this side and provide some information, hit us up. Let us know. We would definitely appreciate
Absolutely.
that. See, we provide all kinds of skills for folks, right? Right. So this has been a great session today. CUPRNT sippers in a couple of minutes. You should have already received your links in Patreon. So see you soon. Remember, be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. Until next time, take care. Talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.